Okay, welcome everybody to Greater Life, Greater Impact. I'm your host, Janet, and today's going to be not necessarily a typical class like we usually do. Today will be a healing session. So I would love for you guys who are watching today live, and also for those who are coming back to watch the replay, find yourself a nice, comfortable, private, quiet spot where you can do some inner healing work. Today I have with me, actually, let me back up. Today is episode 29 of our sovereignty series, and you can become much more of a sovereign human being when you're not carrying around a bunch of baggage. And so the effort for today's class is to do some inner work, do some collective healing. As a group, I'm going to be the guinea pig for today, as my friend Karla is joining us. She's going to be the facilitator of healing today. She's a very gifted healer, and we can go into introductions in just a second, but Karla's a good friend of mine. We've done a lot of trading back and forth in the work that we do, and she's going to be facilitating a process called heart-centered therapy today. It's a dialoguing process where we can kind of tap into the heart-centered wisdom for healing and for resolution work, so that you can become a more sovereign and light-filled version of yourself. And you know what? We all have to do our inner work. And I think that it's really important that we be honest with ourselves and be real with what's going on and with what comes up, so that we can be better versions of ourselves. Okay. All right. I don't think there's anything else. I want to turn a little bit of time over to you, Karla. Just maybe go ahead and introduce yourself, what you do, how you work with your clients, and then we're going to go into the next part of the session.
So my name is Karla. I'm a massage therapist. I've been studying with Alea Chickley for dialoguing for about 10 years, and it's really amazing. The process kind of describes itself with what I'm going to walk Janet through. It's pretty much what I do with people, and maybe not always as deep as Janet goes, but I just try to meet people where they are with what they need to want to go into.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. Thank you for that. So as we're about to get started, Karla's going to walk me personally through a healing process. But my intention, she asked me before we jumped on, what is your intention for this session? My intention is to be a vessel, a witness, I guess, or a vessel, a platform, to provide a platform for all of you so that you can do your inner work. And so my hope is that those of you who are joining live and those of you who will watch the replay to this healing session, that you will go within yourself and do your own inner work as you're witnessing it happening through me, through this session that Karla does to facilitate and help me. So I'm definitely going to be pulling up stuff. Inner stuff's going to be coming up for me personally, but it's also going to come up for you personally. So my intention is to hold space, become a platform for all of us here to do some inner work that really needs to be seen and heard and witnessed and acknowledged and healed and resolved, so that you can be a better version of you as you go out into your relationships and out into the world. That's my intention. And then, Karla, I'm going to turn the time to you to share what your intention for this healing session is.
My intention is just to meet Janet where she is with ease and grace, and hold her in a space of light and love so that she may step into what she needs to do to hold the space of being the vessel.
Okay, awesome. That's perfect. We're going to walk you through, I'm going to have Karla do it so that I can get into that grounded, centered space, but we're going to walk you through an exercise where we can get our bodies prepared for doing our inner work, to get grounded, to get centered, to become aware of your physical body so that you then can go in and be honest with yourself. Take an honest look at what's coming up inside of you. So everybody get into a comfortable, relaxing position. I recommend sitting so that you don't fall asleep. But if laying down is better for you, that's fine as well. Just find a place that works best for you. And I'm going to turn the rest of the time over to you, Karla, to help facilitate for all involved.
All right. So if everyone can get comfortable and feel your feet on the ground, feel your sits bones in the chair that you're sitting on. Notice your body where you are in space and time. Notice your back resting against the chair. And from that space of awareness of your body, go ahead and notice your head, how it feels on your neck and shoulders. And breathe into that. And from there, come down your spine. Notice your arms, hands, and fingers. Notice your rib cage, your chest, your pelvis, your sacrum. Notice your hips and your legs. Keep going down past your knees into your feet. Be aware of your feet and how they feel on the floor. And just like a tree has roots coming out of it, go ahead and imagine that you've got energetic roots, either water or energy roots into the earth. And feel the earth beneath your feet. And in that space, go ahead and take a big, deep breath and allow yourself to let go of whatever no longer serves you, whether that's known or unknown. And just let it go into the earth. The earth just knows it as energy. And from that next breath, go ahead and find a space within the earth to bring up only what will nourish you. And that nourishment into your feet, legs, knees, all the way up into your pelvis. Into your torso and rib cage, arms, hands, fingers, into your neck and head. And let it come down and around you like a waterfall that you see. Just opening up to that rich nourishment from the earth. And on the next breath, let every area feel that needs to fill and come out around you to nourish your body. And then from that place, go ahead and make your divine connection. And invite in all your spiritual support that you need. Angels, Jesus, so that you're held in grace and light and love for everyone here and present and on the recording. So Janet, from this place of connection with your higher self, how does that feel in your body?
Pretty resolute, pretty stable.
What issue do you want to work on? Just let it bubble up.
Opening my heart to receiving love.
Opening your heart to receiving love. Just feel that for a moment. And as you drop into your heart to fill it, to open to receiving love, what does your heart say to you?
Yeah, she's crying. She's hurting.
Do you get a sense of how old you are?
Eons. It's
Yeah,
old. It's
old.
not just from this life, it's old.
Okay. Can you step into the picture to your with your heart?
Mhm.
And do you get a sense if it's male or female?
It's female.
Do you get a sense of what century we're in?
Yeah, actually, yes, I do. It's possibly 14th, 15th century. It's
What
old.
what's happening? Your
Uh,
heart is crying for this.
yeah, so this is a past memory that comes up for me a lot, a lot, a lot. And I'm a child, probably age 3, 4, somewhere in there. And my parents are being brutally murdered as I'm hiding behind a chair, witnessing and watching these people coming after bloodlines. And I'm next, right? And they don't know where I'm at, but they're coming for them. They're coming for me. So there's terror. There's a lot of terror. There's a lot of deep sadness coming up.
So feel into that sadness and let this little girl know I see you. I accept you. I believe in you. I see you are scared. I see you are hiding. I see this terror. I believe in you. And how does she feel to be seen?
Um, a little bit safer. There's a little bit. I think what she's saying is that it's dangerous to love deeply, because people will come after you. So she witnessed her parents as very deeply loving people, and they
Yeah,
deeply loved her, and it was very open and free and flowy. And because of who they were as ascended spiritual beings, but also possessing important bloodlines, I think she interpreted it as, don't get too close to people because it's dangerous.
I see you. I see you believe you don't want to get too close to people because it's dangerous. I love you. I accept you. What does she need in order to make peace with her parents? She need to forgive.
Um, yeah, the word that she keeps saying is, I just want to feel safe.
Where does she need that safety from?
Um, from God.
Can she receive all that safety from God?
Yeah, yeah, that's cool. So
Yeah.
there are two gigantic souls on both sides of our um, protectors.
Yeah. So let her feel into that safety and that protection.
Yeah, she's getting what she needs.
Okay. And from this place of safety and protection, can she invite her parents in now?
Yeah, that's so cool. So what I witnessed was these two protector beings as the trauma is playing out and the terror is going on. She's hiding behind the chair and they're like, you look at me, you focus on me. You don't look over there, you focus on me. And then as she's focusing on them, they're walking her through it. And then her parents just showed up standing behind these beings. So that was interesting.
So how does it feel to her to have her parents there?
Better.
Is there anything she would like to say to her parents?
Well, the first thing that came up was she wants to be with them.
Can she be with them now?
Yes, spiritually, she can.
Yeah. Is there anything her parents would like to say to her?
Yeah, you're safe.
Let's see. And how does she feel?
She does feel safe. She does feel protected.
Is she ready to look the other people in the eyes now that she's safe? The one who did all the brutalizing and killing of the parents and the bloodline.
She wants understanding. So yes, she's willing, but she wants understanding as to why would somebody do what they did.
Can you open up to that understanding with her, supporting her with her parents? Look the gentleman in the eyes, one of them, and ask for that understanding.
Yeah. So the word that comes up is role. They were playing a role. Contrast. They were providing contrast.
And how does she feel to hear that?
Yeah, I think that brings peace for sure.
Is there anything she wants to say to them?
Mhm. Yeah, what came up was Ho'oponopono, which is, I love you. I'm sorry for what's in me. Please forgive me. Thank you.
And how do they feel to hear this?
Their countenance definitely is softening for sure. There's learning in it for them.
And how is that for her, seeing that they're learning?
Um, she is opening her heart to them.
Mm.
And as a result, they are softening their hearts.
So be with that. Let's let this little girl know that I see you. I see you are opening your heart. I love you. I accept you. I believe in you. I see the men are opening their hearts too. because they are witnessing you opening yours. So forgiveness. Thank you. Is everyone ready to clear this spiritual emotional virus?
Yeah. I feel like it, I can see this separation between, abuse and abuser. I can see it traveling through all the generations of time forward and backward. For every soul, because I know that I've been the abuser at times in my journey, and I've also been the abused. So I'm holding space for and grace for myself, knowing I once was them. So yeah, I think this would be a good time to clear that energy.
So go ahead and allow yourself and all that's involved, the abuser and the victim, to see themselves in their true divine light. And let's separate this spiritual emotional virus from the victim and the abuser. And as everyone sees themselves in their true divine light, how does that feel to you?
You guys feel free to drop stuff in the chat box, but what I'm seeing is I get things in words. I'm seeing resolution, restoration, and truth.
Truth.
When we witness an abuser, we're not really witnessing the truth of that being. We're witnessing a veiled, convoluted non-truth of that being.
Yeah. Are you ready to focus on transforming this spiritual emotional virus?
Yes.
At the same time, hold space for everyone to begin their own healing process in the background as well. Let your process inspire the others. Let's strengthen this connection with your higher self, with all your spiritual support. Now let's give the spiritual emotional virus eyes. What do you see in the eyes of this Severus spiritual emotional virus?
I just see the color red.
Color red. What is the core belief of the Severus? Do you get a sense of that?
No, I don't know what the belief would be. I just see the word evil. And I know that evil plays a role in our ascension and progression.
Do you believe in this word evil?
No, actually, it's just contrast.
It's just contrast. Does this evil have a purpose?
It provides a space for learning and choice.
Is there something the eyes of the Severus want to say to you?
Yeah, it just asked, what did you learn?
How do you feel about that?
Well, through all generations of time, what I've learned through the contrast is how to be a stronger version of myself and how to exercise free will by choosing.
How do the eyes feel? Do you understand that you have free will to choose?
Yeah, and it's more than just a free will to choose. So what I'm seeing now in the vision of this regression is this 3-year-old has just transformed the whole setting. So her parents are deceased, but these inflictors of pain, they now see that they played a role, and they now see that they have free will and choice and sovereignty, and they now see that they can choose something different. And she's sitting on their lap. There's 2 of them. She's sitting on their lap looking into their eyes, and the intention and the free will, it's all being transformed.
Nice. So let's look into the eyes of the Severus. I see you. I see your evil. I see you always believed this. I believe in you. I accept you. I forgive you. Forgive me. I see your true nature. I see you are free now. How does it feel to be seen and acknowledged for the Severus?
Yeah, so the eyes turned from red to now blue. And, contrast is still important for learning and choosing and ascending. But this virus has shifted.
Yeah. Look into the eyes of the Severus. Did it ever have the idea that it could serve a higher purpose and exist in a new way?
No.
What would happen if it opened to receiving love?
Growth, expansion would happen.
Is the Severus open to transforming?
Yeah, it's funny because the way that it's showing up is this little cartoon character, and it first showed up as just gross evil, but now it's this little blue persona, and it's like, yeah, I want to experience something else, like almost like it knew what its role was, but it didn't know that it in and of itself could experience expansion.
Is there anything that it needs to be able to accept its true nature and free itself?
Well, I saw it as, how many people see God energy as the source, and that all things in the universe that have been created are just little sparks that flew off from source, to have experience, to bring that learning and that knowledge back to source so that source can grow. I can see it being pulled back to source and giving that information to God, for expansion. So it's going back to its source, but it's taking with it that understanding and information and knowledge and wisdom and learning, because we all got knowledge from it, from this virus of
Yeah.
evil.
So before it leaves, ask if it has a message for you.
The word, I get it in one word phrase, one word things. So sorry, it's not super detailed, but the word is love. Just love.
What would happen if the Severus would say, I believe in you, Janet?
Mm. That would be amazing. Then we would be one.
And you would be one.
Because there's learning. There's it. This Severus, this virus contributed to growth and exaltation and experience and expands my glory as a being. So there's oneness there.
Breathe into that oneness. As it releases, allow your natural body consciousness to reclaim its rightful purpose and function. Breathe as your body remembers its true nature. Listen to its pure and rightful frequency. Pay attention to how your own body intelligence restores and heals you. Imagine your body's true sound, color, and divine design. How does that feel?
Very expanded. Very transformational.
Imagine every atom, cell, organ, and structure of your body recalibrating.
Yeah, I just saw that. I just saw every single individual cell become its higher self, its own divine intelligence.
Sound divine intelligence. Let's ensure that the others have also healed. Let's check and see if the Severus is also released from your little body.
Not released, but integrated. It's like, the darkness and the light and the yin and the yang and the good and the bad. They coexist in a state of oneness. And so now there's just, the choice is pure love. The choice is to open the heart instead of cower in fear behind the sofa.
Check to see that your parents, grandparents, great-grandparents, the originator, and everyone present is clear and integrated with this pure love.
Yeah.
Breathe into your heart. Hold the intention that everyone involved is liberated from this Severus.
There's a little bit of sadness coming up, and there's also a bit of fear coming up. It's generational for sure.
When you look into this sadness for someone who needs help, what do they need? With this fear and sadness?
It feels like, well, I can see my dad. It feels like they're holding on to the story. Like, when you've been wronged and abused and harmed and hurt, and you hold on to the story, and it just makes your heart heavy with sadness about how you were wronged and harmed and hurt.
Can you let your dad know that you see him? I see you. I see that you feel wrong and hurt.
I don't know what that means. If you like, I can search the web for. I see you, I see that you.
Thanks, Siri. Appreciate that. I feel seen.
I love you. I accept you. I believe in you. How does he feel, your father, to be seen? In his sad.
Yeah, he's a little boy. I'm holding him right now. And he's just a little boy.
What does he need?
He says what he wants is acceptance and approval from the people around him that hurt him.
Can he receive that acceptance and approval?
There's fear, like there's this, he's afraid of something.
What's he afraid of?
He's afraid that they won't. He's still wow. There's a lot of hurt there.
Yeah. I see you.
Lot.
I see your hurt. I see your fear. I love you. I accept you. I believe in you. I'm here for you. How does your father feel?
He says, I know you're here for me, but I can't forgive what was done to me. The pain is too deep.
Can he look into the eyes of the people that hurt him?
Yeah.
And how does he feel to see their eyes?
Yeah, this is what he's showing me is he's watching and witnessing their life review, their story, and seeing that how they abused him was just a projection of their own pain. And so, wow, there's compassion now coming in.
Yeah, just be with that.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
There is a lot of pain on this planet.
Be with that compassion. And as your Father opens to this compassion, how does that feel?
It just opened the door to all of the pain that has ever been on this planet. All the babies who died, and all of the carnage, and all of the bloodshed, and all of the war, and all of the suffering, and all of the pain. It's just like it just opened up. It's not just my dad that I'm witnessing at this point. It's like it is Mother Earth, and all of the people with her.
So just be with that compassion. Just take all the time you need and let me know.
So I just saw Christ, and I was witnessing all the suffering and the pain on the planet, and all of the humans that have been violated and enslaved and not seen and not heard and not witnessed, and that came here to experience that contrast. I mean, this is a world filled with contrast. And I saw the Lord standing there above it all as we're just looking at Mother Earth, and she's holding it all. And I said, that's a lot of suffering. That's a lot of suffering. And he said, I know.
Yeah. And what did he say to you?
To let it go. To not harbor it. To, even if it's my own, to let it go and to release it. That it's energy that's already been accounted for in the transformation of it. And so holding it in to my own physical body just generates more pain here. So he said, if you want to heal yourself and your body and the world, you have to release the pain. You have to let it go.
Can you let it go?
Why would I want to cling to that? I don't understand why. There's a part of me, there's still this part of me that wants to hold on to those hurt people and the hurt story and the deep sadness and the, like, I just want to point it out and say, do you see this suffering? Do you see what people are going through here?
So I see you. I see the suffering. I accept you. I believe in you. I've always believed in you. I love you. It's time to be free now and let the suffering go. I love you. I accept you. I believe in you. Are you ready to let it go?
I guess my question is, why would I see the value in clinging to it? I don't understand why there's a part of me that would want to cling to that.
What does your heart say?
Um, I think my heart is saying if I just release all this pain and suffering, and it disappears, then it's like it didn't happen. And if it didn't happen, then what was the point, right? Like, what was the point of these people being trafficked? And yeah, Casey says fear. So there is a part of fear around letting it go, because if you let go of the story and the suffering, and that's the fear, is that it didn't happen, and or that there's no meaning to it.
Have you always believed that?
Yeah, I think I have. I think I felt that I needed to cling to the pain and the sorrow and the suffering so that I could remember the meaning. And this isn't just for me, I'm seeing it globally, right? Like, I'm seeing all of these poor people who have been through way worse stuff than me. So I think the fear is, if I let this go, there will be no meaning. That's the belief.
Is that true?
Logically, no, it is not true.
So I see you, fear. I see you've always been there for me. I see I've always relied on you. I believe in you. I accept you. You are free now. How does it feel for the fear to be free now?
It wants, logically, I want to set it free, but it wants to be acknowledged. It wants to be by me. It wants to have meaning. It wants there to be a purpose in all of this suffering. So I can see that the fear wants to transmute into wisdom and glory and experience and expansion.
Okay.
But there's still something, sorry, I'm being stubborn, but there's still something. It's like I feel like I'm playing this tug of war with fear.
Yeah. So go ahead and let that process start of transforming. Let's just see how that starts to feel for you as it transforms into this wisdom.
There's the piece of me that's pulling on the tug of war rope. She's saying, do you see what these people went through? Do you see what I've been through? Do you see how hard this is? Do you see how much hurt there is? Do you see it? And like I'm the tug of war is with fear, and fear is like, yep, I played a role in all of that.
So can you acknowledge that? How would you like to acknowledge it?
It's like on the movie Inside Out, if you've seen it,
Mhm.
where Joy wants to run around and rule the show and be the only one noticed, and sadness doesn't ever get any attention. It's that fear plays a role and a purpose, a divine purpose, and that it needs to be acknowledged.
Yeah. So I see you sadness. I see you fear. I've always believed in you. I've always accepted you. Thank you. I love you. I accept you. Thanks for always being here for me. How does that feel to have it acknowledged?
That's better. It's like we pulled our way into the center of the rope and now we're just holding hands.
Yeah.
Yeah. And fear says, thank you for acknowledging me.
Yeah.
I'm a part of you.
And how does that feel to hear that from fear?
Safe, actually. It feels safe. It's okay to fear. It's okay to feel fear. She's
Now,
a part of the whole experience, the holistic experience of the human form.
how does that feel to know that?
Lighter, for sure. Feels lighter. Ooh.
Now let's take a moment to reconnect to your inner child. Reconnect to your parents. Have them look into each other's eyes. How does your parents feel now?
Yeah, so much better. She's better. They're better. They're just at peace.
What is the little one's eyes expressing?
Compassion. Yeah, there's compassion. The compassion is there because of the experience, because of the understanding that came through the experience. She now has wisdom and compassion. And that's love.
Yeah, so feel that love.
Yeah.
Is there something the little one needs from the parents to really be okay?
Yeah, she just moved in for the hug.
Receive this. What happens when she receives this hug?
Resolve. So the fear is now compassion. My left eye is twitching like crazy, which is That's the feminine side, which is the receiving side, which is also what happens when I'm getting messages from through the veil. I feel like it's my mom.
Is there something that your mother needs or wants to say to you?
Yeah, she just said thank you.
Thank you. How does your little one feel now?
She's good. She's pretty powerful. She's good.
How does your mother feel?
She feels tall. She feels a more truthful version of her higher self. She feels elevated. She feels accepted. Yeah, a lot of that same fear was coming through her too. So there's definitely more compassion. Yeah, she just waved goodbye. So there's definitely more compassion. She just wanted to be heard and seen.
Good. How does your body feel?
Better, actually, better.
Is there a new decision that will support everyone in the family? And in the lineage all the way back to the 1400s?
Yeah, this feels like global energy to me now. I don't know that it's just family as much as it is global. This is global humanity, the family lineage of humanity, human beings.
What's the new decision?
So what's coming through for me, the new decision. Okay, and there's the other messages coming through from the council, my council. The new decision is they're saying, yes, there's a lot of fear on this planet, a lot. And look what can happen when evil gets transmuted into learning and fear gets transmuted into compassion and love. It's a leveling up process, not just for this Mother Earth, not just for this world, but for all the beings that are here with it.
Mm-hmm. So feel into that.
So what they're saying is, in this world, as you see evil and fear and terrible things, terrible, torturous things, don't judge it. Don't go into fear. You can feel the fear for sure, but allow yourself to let that fear move through you and let it come to fruition so that it can become compassion for humanity. Not just for the ones being tortured, but for the ones doing the torturing, for the ones doing the deceiving, for the ones creating the deception, and for the ones inflicting sorrow and pain and wrong, to have compassion for them too, because they're playing a role.
Yeah.
And so what is going to heal humanity and what is going to heal this planet is ultimately feeling the feelings, but transmuting that through forgiveness. That's what they're saying. Will you choose into forgiveness? Will you choose it? Will you transmute the pain and the sorrow and the suffering and the darkness and the evil that you see? Will you transmute that? Will you do it?
And what's your answer?
Well, I'm going to say yes. I don't know about you guys on here, anyone who's watching the replay or watching this now. Yes, that is my new purpose and my new mission. Yes, yes, and yes.
What is the true sound of the global family?
Well, what I saw when I tried to listen to that sound was light and the word joy.
What happens when everyone listens to this sound and light of joy?
Liberation.
Feel the recalibration.
Yeah, the movie The Sound of Freedom, I thought that was an interesting title. But this is the sound. This is what joy sounds like and feels like and looks like, is the transmutation of terror and evil and fear into it's the polarity, right?
So feel that recalibration into compassion, forgiveness, and love.
Wow, that's amazing. It sounds like I wrote a song years ago called The Love That God Is Bringing. And in the chorus of that song, it says, it's like 1,000 hallelujahs. And this sounds like 1,000,000 hallelujahs, if not billions of hallelujahs. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah. We see our new decision. We see our billions of hallelujahs. We see the love and the joy and compassion we all share together. We see the freedom. We hear the true sound of our global lineage. How does the little one feel when she receives all the love and compassion she needs?
She is all the love and compassion she needs.
How does the parents feel, the mother?
Complete, whole.
Breathe into that completeness and that wholeness. Is there anything you and her want to do together?
Go heal the world, baby. That's what we want to do together, is just step out into the world in this place. But it's interesting, as a healer, as a quantum healer, I have had this weighing on my heart for so long, this inability to receive love. And so if I can't receive love, and if all of these people are projecting their sorrow onto me, I have to take it in as I'm not enough, or I'm not worthy, or there's something bad about me. And transmuting that, I think, is going to be so huge for me personally as a human being, but I think for everybody here watching and participating and having this experience collectively together.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely, if that little girl she's a badass. She is huge. She is a gigantic soul, and she knows who she is. And there is no lack of love. There is no limitation. There is no unworthiness. Worthiness doesn't come from holding a piece of paper in your hand that says you're worthy, that somebody checked off a box or signed their signature that says you're worthy. That is not real. That is not truth.
Yeah. So take a moment and feel that truth that I am worthy of love and connection and this divine compassion and light. Breathe into it. Let's sit with that worthiness and that light and compassion for a moment. Couple breaths, really fill. Let's take a moment to feel and acknowledge all the spiritual helpers that supported this work today. Acknowledge yourself, your ancestors, and everyone that participated in this healing. They have a gift for you. What is it?
Well, the minute you said gift, I saw a box. It's the same box they keep giving me. Years ago, I asked for the gift of healing and they gave it to me in this same box. So, but what's inside the box is the word knowledge. And it's not, this isn't book knowledge. This is divine intelligence knowledge.
Can you receive that divine intelligent knowledge? Wisdom?
Yes.
Expand and breathe slowly and deeply. Feel the unity, the love and compassion. Breathe this love with this divine wisdom and knowledge into the waters of your body. Let every cell receive this new information of love and divine wisdom and light and knowledge. Really sit with this for a moment and breathe into this new knowledge of wisdom, the divine knowledge. Really feel that. In your body, in your heart, and opening to this wisdom of the heart, the divine knowledge.
They just said, now wisdom can flow through you.
Yeah, so breathe into that. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. And come back to here and now.
Wow. That was powerful. I know that there was a whole other experience going on in the chat dialogue, and I didn't have a chance to read any of your comments, but I know they were good. So, wow. Does anybody want to share what your experience was as you kind of sat into this healing energy and this healing experience, as I took it into a personal space, but held that space for you? You may need to go back to watch the replay of this again so that you can take it into your own personal space and hold that space for yourself. Karen says, I think it's okay to still want that. Okay, I'm adding to a conversation that's already going on. It's okay to feel a bit of heartbreak that comes with the peace of letting go, or does that keep me stuck? I think it's okay to feel a little bit of heartbreak. I think it's okay to feel your feelings, Casey. I think that's perfectly okay to just acknowledge and be with the feeling and say, that's okay that you feel this way. It's all right. Give yourself permission to have those feelings and just stay with that feeling as long as you possibly can, because as you do that, it will work its way through you.
Yeah, and acknowledge it. Let it know that you see it, that you accept it, and that you've always believed it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, it's 10:10. Well, depending on what time zone you're in, it's 10:10. I think that's a good place to end this process, this healing process. We don't need to go too much into the talking, but as I post this around on social media for you guys to benefit from, please share your experiences. Share it with us. Type something into the conversation and the comments wherever these get shared. Hopefully you'll go back to YouTube and watch it and share something so that others can get the benefit of multiple different perspectives of this healing process. Going deep into the heart. Last week, we talked about being led by your heart. Follow the lead of your heart. You cannot do that if your heart is shut down. And so I feel like for me personally, this was a huge, huge step in my healing journey so that I can go deeper into the following of my own heart. If you missed that, I'm going to post it in the description of the replay. Last week's class on following your heart. I highly recommend that you go watch that first before coming back to this session and watching this session again for you. But you may want to come back to this video over and over and over if you have inner heart healing in the form of receiving love that maybe you need to do. And you might be able to find that you'll go deeper and deeper and deeper every time. The chat, I do save the chat. Somebody was asking me about this chat. I do save the chat threads. And if you want a copy of the chat back and forth, I can send that to you in the form of a Google Docs if you'd like that. So just reach out to me and let me know. It's best if you reach out to me on Facebook through Messenger or somewhere on social media. I'll probably get your Facebook message on Messenger. That's probably the easiest way to go without giving you my personal contact information. All right. Thanks everybody for being here. Thank you so much, Karla, for facilitating and holding that space. I feel amazing. I feel like I could go run a marathon right now. So thank you for that. And have a blessed rest of your day, everybody.
You too.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.